What's up, everybody? It's Brad, Yamaha Marine Center. There's all our brands. We're at 1515 Wells Road, Orange Park. Just got in. It's 2020, I think it's a 23. Tagged to 23 because it came in this month, July of 2022. So we'll check the hull number. But this specific boat was ordered for a customer at the Miami Boat Show. 23, it's our first 23. And we are just getting it unwrapped. And he lost the contract on his house he was going to keep it at. So the boat may be available. But just to go through it for you, like I said, 2023 DC 266. Content has not changed since 2022. So pretty much all the same as the 2022s, but just a model year newer. 27 feet 4 inches overall, 8 feet 9 inches on the beam. So a nice beamy dual console 266, and then you can see the dead rise in the back. Pretty sure it maintains 21 degrees all the way back here, but as you saw in the front, super steep entry. I really enjoy this boat quite a bit, especially for a dual console. Runs really well, and compared to their previous generation 265, handles a lot better than that boat as well. But you can get an idea on the front here. Same pursuit quality, built to be offshore, mission capable is what they call it. But get an idea of the reverse chine and lifting strakes that run. This top one runs the length of the boat. This one stops about midship. So it's pretty much out of the water when the boat's up running on the pad. But I kind of like this color. This colorway was on the Sport 288 at the Miami Boat Show. It's a full Neptune gray hull all the way down to the bottom, and then a quartz white boot stripe. Blends really well with the gray engines. Unfortunately, we had to go gray engines because they are not painting engines right now, but I think it blends pretty well with the color. Lenco trim tabs are standard. Nothing really else on the back of the boat. This Garlic 3-step ladder telescopes into the boat. Really cool, because as you are boarding the boat, even if you have swim fins on, it's kind of easy to get up there, whereas those other runged ladders, you have to step in the middle of them, and you can't really do it with fins. So a good dive boat, big platform to enter, and once the engines are trimmed down, you can actually get to the other side of the platform. So if you're doing any kind of water sports or anything like that. We didn't install the ski tow, which would attach to this wall and it would become removable, but it is able to be added after the fact. And you can see here, no rocket launcher either. I think we didn't do med shades, but we did do a storage cover. So there's a canvas that goes on the back of the boat while it's being stored to cover the cockpit. And then we have a tonneau cover that covers the front. And then you can see we did the connector canvas here, so you can get the bridge deck fully enclosed and get yourself out of the weather. Really functions well like a express style boat. Transom door, you have your freshwater shower, raw water wash down. You have your white courtesy lights here, and then we also did the option of the mid-level blue lighting, and then fish box. So it is a fishable boat, not quite as much as their centers, but you do have a 20-gallon live well, and then a big fish box that drains overboard. It is not macerated. And then there is your 20-gallon freshwater fill for your cockpit shower. And then you have a little entertainment zone over here. Sink, cutting board, 5-gallon bucket storage. Pretty good use of space. Friction hinge, so you don't have to worry about gas shocks getting in your way. And then the aft seat is also a cooler under here. No option for like a DC chill plate or anything like that, but it does hold ice pretty well. And all of the other storage is insulated too, so if you're not going to use it for fishing, live well is insulated, fish box is insulated. Nice thick hardware all over everything. Everything's lockable. So if you have any valuables, you can stow them for at the marine or whatever. Batteries tuck up in there nicely, easy to get to. Just like most of their other boats, there is a liner here, so all your water management is underneath there. Just some cool engineering stuff. And they also bond this boat, so any through hole is electrically bonded by those green wires right there. So if somebody next to you at the marina is leaking voltage, kind of pulls it into the system instead of speeding up corrosion. And then we have all of our pumps, filters. Stuff's pretty easy to get to. All the wiring you can see is labeled, if you can see that. port engine battery, starboard engine on that ground strap there. But just really good engineering in all of their product, so you can see where everything's at, get to it, know what you're looking at. And then all the harnesses are even made in-house, just like everything else on the boat. It's hand laid, made in the factory, even their vinyl. But you have really nice storage options. You got some Plano tackle boxes in there, storage shelf, and you saw those drawers. One of the things they did do better than the previous generation 265 is the angle of this seat. It's kind of hard to see because it still looks pretty straight up and down, but at least you get a little bit more lumbar support down here than the previous generation, which was a lot of complaints, but they pretty much took care of that. And then the port side console is your head, and there you can see your storage canvas, your bow cover, aft cover, marine head. It's electric. It is not vacuum flush, but you do have real wood veneers on the cabinet there, and then you have the Corian countertop, so really nice touches. And then you have that handle to get out, so you can lock it inside while somebody's inside. Another little glove box just to store stuff. You have this material finish instead of fiberglass, so it really cuts down on glare. And then you can see we colored the console the same color as the whole side, that Neptune gray. Most recent or current generation of digital electronic control, but because it is not DES engine, which is digital electronic steering, they do still do hydraulic steering with power assist, so it is still a CSAR system instead of the Yamaha electric. JL Audio, the new Media Master 105, and then trim tab controller, and then all of your DC system buttons, all your lights, freshwater, raw water, and you have the electronic key switch for Yamaha, so it's a proximity sensor, so there's nothing really to plug in. You only have to hit a button as you come into proximity on this. You can power the engines up, start and stop individual engines. Garmin 8612 XSV, and then your 6x8 Yamaha color display. Can run a bunch of engines on that if you wanted to. Usually there's a piece of glass that goes here, but Taylor is very backordered on glass, so they ship the boats and then send the windshield later. So you can fully enclose this, like I said, kind of express style, and have a nice enclosed bridge deck here, and then more storage in here and stowage. So you can see we did the bow filler, and then it looks like the access panel's off to electronics, so you can get a good idea of how they do the rigging back here. But everything's pretty easy to get to, nice and clean. Again, all the harnesses are made in-house, all the hoses are made in-house, so everything's customized to each individual boat. Nice and clean, easy to work on. Well, relatively speaking, no boats are fun to work on. And then forward door stows out of place, up into the bow where all the kids like to ride. And you have a decent, not as good as their bigger dual consoles, but you have a nice amount of freeboard here. So my kids, 11 and 9, I don't mind them being seated up here unless it gets a little too rough, because then with the armrest down, you know, they're pretty much tucked in. And the boat does so well in rough weather. Whoops. And then you can fold the seats up. Cushions stay in place, but you can fold the seat completely open. And more storage, insulated space, so you can use it for cooler space or whatever you want. Just like the bigger boats, they do offer this with a 3-stem windlass, which we did. And you can see the locker. Just like their other boats, they build this nice big structure into the stringer of the boat and make it, and I don't know if you can see down in there all the road chain, windlass. We upgraded the stainless steel anchor. You have a remote that you can plug in here. But all in all, great boat. Great for the family, great for cruising, skiing, does fishing. Doesn't do any of it really well except cruising. That's probably its strongest point. But if you're gonna cruise most of the time and occasionally fish, I think this would be the ticket here. But if you have any questions on this or any other boat we sell, give us a call, 904-644-7631, or get us on the website yamahamarinejAX.com.